How do you see this team as it's sort of priming for the playoffs? 24 games to go. There's a lot going on. Goldschmidt Triple Crown. Molina and Pujols farewell coming up. Pujols going for 700. Maybe let's start there. What are you thinking as you run that through your mind, whether Pujols will get there or not?
Well, he's got 6 games here, and he's not playing tonight. That doesn't mean he couldn't come in later, but he's been used a lot lately, and he's kind of tapered off a little bit. I think he's just had one pinch home run, in like 20 at bats. So he's not striking out. He's hitting the ball. But you may have to be a little more prudent about when you use him against certain right-handers, and they got 3 going this series. I'm sure he'll get 1 start. But he has 32 home runs in this ballpark.
Ooh.
And putting that in perspective, he leads all visiting players playing in this ballpark, and he played 1 series here in a 10-year span when he played for the Angels. He didn't play here for 4 years. He played 1. But he didn't play for the other 5. So he's got these 3, and he's got the 3 makeup games at the end of the season when, in fact, if the Cardinals have nailed down their division title, which they would hope to do by then, you can play them every game. Bat them leadoff if you want to. Get them 15 at-bats.
Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Absolutely. Commish, Tyler O'Neill's back in the lineup tonight. Is everything okay? I presume it is. Physically, that neck thing kept him out yesterday. What's his status?
Yeah, he's fine. And the big shooter, Burleson, is DHing tonight, which looks like maybe that's his best position. I asked the skipper before the game how he liked his outfielding yesterday, and he says, "Well, he took some good swings up there." So
I thought he did. I thought he looked pretty good. I thought that. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I thought when he connected with the one, I thought it was going to go. Kind of died on him out there on the warning track or close to it. But
and he drew a walk after that, so he did. That would be his position. And next year, the Cardinals won't have the plethora of DHs they have now. Pujols will be gone, and Corey Dickerson will probably be gone. Gorman will be playing every day, and maybe Yepes and Burleson will be your DHs. Right, left.
Rick Hummel with us from Pittsburgh, PNC Park, and looking forward to the Cardinals and the Pirates. Lars Nootbaar's batting 9th tonight against the right-hander. And listen, man, you've covered baseball forever. I've covered baseball for about half of forever. But Nootbaar's been in a really bad tailspin. But it's only he was going to cool down. It's not like it's a shocker. But what do you think's going on there? Do you think pitchers have found something, or is it just one of those downturns?
Well, both, I think. I mean, it's a downturn. He wasn't going to hit, 350 or 400 and get on base, 40% of the time. And he's not he's down around the 220s now. He probably isn't that kind of hitter either. He's somewhere in between 220 and 265 or 70 maybe. But Edman is hot now. You want him at the top of the order now. This is the highest he's batted against a right-handed pitcher in a long time. He's hitting second tonight. He's
been fantastic. I mean, hitting the ball with authority too. Really hitting the ball with authority.
I know.
Do you think?
And he had a ball. Well, he won the game the other day when the Washington left fielder had to play in a little bit. The tying run was on second base. He had maybe shade in a step to throw out the guy at the plate and ended up going off his glove for that game-losing double or game-winning double, depending on your perspective.
Commish, about Edman, do you think that the voters for the Gold Glove will kind of understand the bigger picture here with him, and he'll win a Gold Glove, probably at second base? But I'd hate to see him penalized because, in effect, he's really good at 2 positions. That actually makes him more valuable, wouldn't it?
Well, you're right on the second part. I don't know if he can be listed at 2 positions on the ballots that the coaches and manager receive. Those are the voters. It strikes me that he's only going to be listed at 1, and he's coming up on a situation now where he's going to have more games at shortstop probably than second base now that they've given up on DeYoung here and want to play Gorman or Donovan at second base and play Edman at shortstop every day. They're about even right now, but there's of the 24 games to go. I've got to think he's going to play 16 or 17 of them at shortstop.
Yeah, I don't know whether I was thinking about this. I don't want to get too deep with it, but if you think about the way it's the kind of the new managing style or even the new roster construction style, I think we're going to see more and more of this where not just like usually in the older times, there'd be maybe be one. Each team would have one guy that they moved all around, But it seems to me there's going to be more and more of Tommy Edman types as we move forward because it's all about matchups now. It's all about moving pieces around. So I don't know whether the system's going to have to change a little bit or be modified for the Gold Glove. Maybe you have a utility category. I don't know. What do you think about that?
The Fielding Bible does have one. The Fielding Bible has a utility category.
That's right.
I'd be surprised if he didn't win that one. Who better?
And they love him, too. They write about him all the time. Mark Simon, Sports Info Solution. Yeah, you're right. Good point. You predicted on the show here as the August turned into September that you thought Molina would have a stirring, and he knows it's time. It's go time. Well, your prediction there is money. I mean, you could go collect right now on that. He's been unbelievable so far. And I looked it up, and I just went through the last 3 seasons, starting 2019. Actually, 4 seasons, including this one. It is funny to look at his stats in September compared to everything that happened in a season before that. I mean, this is either a coincidence or there's a lot to what you were saying about he smells it, he knows it.
And there's a lot to what Oliver Marmol was saying, too, because he said the same thing. And that's why they didn't bat for him a couple nights ago when they were down 5-3, a couple guys on base. He singled to make it 5-4, then Edman won the game. But if Marmol says that you're my guy for September, you can't hit for him there. It's September. He hits.
That's right. I think it's funny. I mean, it's amazing how there's a trigger or something, and it's like, okay, clockwork, let's go. But it's pretty. That was a lot of fun yesterday. It's a shame for them that they lost the game, but that was a lot of fun to watch. What do you think's going on with Adam Wainwright, if anything?
Well, I take him at his word that his delivery is messed up. Now, is that easily solved? Well, he thinks so, but we'll have to see. The next time he pitches will be an important game. Well, not only for himself and Molina, but the Brewers are in town, and you want to make sure you get as far ahead of them as you can. You don't want to lose 2 games of them and suddenly let them back in the race. And you wouldn't mind pushing them a little farther back, but you don't have to worry about playing them in October. I worry about playing the Brewers in October with those 2 big horses they have in their rotation in a 3-game series.
Yep. That's a good point. It really is. Commish, before you go, listen, man, I got to do this to you. I'm probably going to be throwing stuff at you maybe you haven't thought about. Virginia going to Illinois, getting 4 points. What do you think?
I think I like the Illini there. I wavered back and forth on that. I watched Virginia play Richmond a little bit last week. And Richmond's, the little lower class. Illinois is not a great team. I think Illinois got enough to subdue them. I wasn't overly impressed by by Virginia. Or Richmond, either one, for that matter.
Mizzou getting 7.5 at Kansas State.
I like Mizzou.
Yeah, I do too.
If they take care of the ball. And I like the Buffalo Bills a whole lot. You didn't ask me about that one, but
well, you did well then, because that was turned out to be a cakewalk. That's a good team, I think. How's that for stating the obvious?
Well, they gave the ball up 3 times in the first half, and they still got out of there 10-10. You said to yourself, well, they're okay now, making 3 turnovers, right. They're still tied.
That's absolutely right. All right, this one has perplexed me because I can't make up my mind. Kentucky getting 6 at Florida.
I like Kentucky. I think Coach Stoops will have them ready for that, and Florida had an emotional win last week against Utah to vault them from unranked into the ranked at 12th. I'm not sure how good Utah is, They went to the Rose Bowl last year, but that doesn't mean they're good now.
That's right.
And maybe they're not. So I like Kentucky. I think they can handle them.
Commish, if you were looking at Appalachian State at Texas A&M, would you take the 19 points?
I would.
That's an interesting game, too. It is.
I mean, those guys got 40 points in 1 quarter, so they can score, and they lost.
There's a lot of good games, and one interesting thing I'm seeing some people that I follow as far as they know what they're doing. Iowa State plus 3.5 at 3.5 at Iowa, but they're saying everyone thinks it's going to be like a 6-3 game because of what happened last week with Iowa, and some people I think are pretty sharp about this stuff say bet the over, which is 40. What do you think about that?
I'm a little leery of that. I think Iowa State can win it. I think Iowa will score more than 7 points. They will score a touchdown. Let's put it that way. I predict Iowa will score a touchdown.
Kamish, we'll have to do this. We'll have to dabble in a little college football when you come on. I know you like it.
I like to watch them. I like to watch an occasional game. Yeah.
Yeah, you absolutely do. So that's what I'll be doing all day tomorrow. If you need any information, just get a hold of me.
Thank you. I may give you a call.
That's my dear friend, the legend, the Hall of Famer Rick Hummel in Pittsburgh. Thanks for your time. I know you're busy. Appreciate you very much, sir.
You bet. Talk to you next week.
All right, next week for sure. That's our guy, Rick Hummel. Isn't it fun to talk a little college, run some college football by him? He follows this stuff so closely. He really, really, really does. I don't know how he does it. All the years I traveled with him, he'd be breaking down some hockey game, where it's nothing wrong with that. But I mean, it would be kind of an off Broadway hockey game. It would be. I'm just trying to think of a
Hartford Whaler game, huh?
Yeah, like Hartford Whalers playing the L.A. Kings or something. I'm saying, well, why would you be paying attention to that? So he's something else, right?
He is good. I love him.
I tell you one thing. I'm looking at before we take a break.
Sure.
Memphis is a 5-point favorite at Navy tomorrow, and based on what I've seen, it's like just take Memphis in the money line there. It's just Navy's bad. So anyway,
Delaware, I was out taking care of some family stuff, and I checked my scores, and I was like, oh my gosh, Bernie is not happy because I'm pretty sure he's probably taking in some of that game.
A lot of it, but then some other games. The fact that it was, Navy clearly wasn't going to, recover, even though it was a 14-7 game. Mm-hmm. But they lose to a Division 1A opponent or FCS. I don't know, and people don't want to hear about it. I'm just saying, no, I switched off to other games because there was a lot of good stuff going on.
Oh, there was.
So anyway.